Let's put a smile on that face.
And with that, we are back. Last in Class podcast. As always, I'm Mike.
Oh, Sakura.
And Tyler.
And this week we are doing the movie Smile.
That's right.
That's why Sakura gave us a quote right there from a different movie.
Yeah. Better movie.
Oh, well, I guess the audience already knows how you feel about this movie.
Well, it's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. I didn't smile through it.
Well, good, because then you'd be killing people or something.
Yeah, something would be weird. I mean, I smiled when Sosie Bacon was on screen. I liked her.
All right, Tyler, where can they follow us at?
You can check us up on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Last in Class Podcast.
Yeah.
His other song he's been singing.
Yeah, it's a different movie.
Also, please make sure to subscribe, like, leave comments, tell us what you want us to do, what movies or genres or whatever, and we'll listen. We'll comment back.
Yeah, you want to see us fight each other?
I'm not much of a fighter.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there.
You want to fight Tyler?
Suggestions. I suggested you guys shooting fireworks at me, but nobody was down with that.
Because I don't want to hurt you. You're my friend.
I won't get hurt.
Yeah, you will.
Stupid people don't get hurt.
Only thing I want to see is you dressed up in the Scorpion costume and do the cartwheels.
Scorpion? Oh, okay. Yes, I'll do that. I thought you meant Sting for a second from WWF or WCW.
No, that'd be Brandon when he's back.
The Crow.
Well, Sting is the version of the Crow. Right. So that's what he always calls, right, during Halloween?
He always goes as the Crow, but you have to call him Sting because...
Does it make him mad?
Yeah, he gets pissed. That's
awesome. Sweet. All right. Good to know. All right, movie of choice is Smile, and this is a newer movie, so spoiler warning, you guys. If you want to watch this movie before hearing what happens in it, turn off now and go watch the movie, and then come back.
Right, or watch it simultaneously.
I would watch it first and then listen to us.
Yeah, well.
We might ruin the experience.
That's true.
All right, so this movie is from 2022. It's rated R. Runtime of 1 hour, 55 minutes. A Rotten Tomato score of 80%. A budget of $17 million and a box office of $217 million. So, very successful movie.
Very.
Thanks for the input.
I had to get that in there.
All right, this movie is written and directed by Parker Finn. He did a movie called Laura Hasn't Slept, The Hide Behind. I think he wrote and directed all those. So
I know Laura Hasn't Slept was the basis for this movie.
Was it the short?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like a starting up and comer, I guess.
Up and comer. He did pretty good with this
film. I guarantee this will make him get another movie.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got the character Rose Cotter, played by Sosie Bacon, daughter of Kevin Bacon. She was in 13 Reasons Why, The Last Summer, As We See It. I've never actually seen her in anything.
And she's in my dreams.
Starting tonight?
Starting tonight.
Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Be careful.
That's true.
What if she's smiling?
That's fine. She might like me then.
All right, then we got character Joel, who's a detective, played by Kyle Gallner.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Yeah, he's in Scream from 2022, Dinner in America, Interrogation.
Is that Scream 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was just called Scream, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. If it's actually a sequel in the same universe.
It needs to be with the number, yeah.
Yeah, it can't just be Scream.
What other movie they do that with?
They did a couple things. It's like when Rocky was like Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Rocky Balboa. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Or Rambo.
Rocky Balboa is a little different.
Rambo did it too, because it was First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, and then it was just called Rambo 3, and then it was just called Rambo. Totally changed its name entirely.
It's definitely like newer or like rebooted movies that just go with just the classic title.
If it's a sequel or something, it needs.
Final Destination.
That's a good one.
That's a good example. Yeah. All right, so then there's character Trevor, who's played by Jesse T. Usher. We all know him from as A-Train and The Boys, and he was in Independence Day Resurgence. Dr. Madeline Northcott is played
Therapist.
by... What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, you said therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah, doctor.
Yeah.
Robin Wayers.
It says on her phone in the movie.
Yeah, thank you. She was in Deadwood and The Sessions. I don't really know her from anything. Lauren Weaver, played by Caitlin Stacey. She was in I, Frankenstein, Rain, Please Like Me.
And Laura Hasn't Slept.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's just one of my favorite things in this movie, actually. Dr. Morgan Desai, played by the one and only Cal Penn.
Mm-hmm.
The Harold and Kumar movies, House, Van Wilder, The New Santa Claus Show.
He was also in one of the other movies we did this year.
Yeah, which was that?
For a split second. You remember what it was?
Which one?
I don't remember. Do you remember what it was? He's in it for like half a second. It was one of the first movies we did.
Are you thinking American Beauty? Because It was the other one. It was Harold.
It was Kumar? No, it was Harold.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it.
Remember? He was in American Beauty.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Well,
Who was he again?
He was one of the people that was going to buy the house.
He's in it for like one scene. I don't even think he speaks.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't speak. We talked about that. Because when we were going down the cast, you were like, you forgot the most important person in the movie.
That's right.
All right, then we got Robert Talley. He's played by Rob Morgan. He was in Don't Look Up, Stranger Things, Greyhound. Holly, who was the sister, played by Jillian Sinzer. Don't know if I got that right. Then you got character Victoria, Munez, played by Judy Reyes. Carl's played by Jack Sockett. Greg is by Nick.
Good luck.
Yeah, how's this one pronounced?
Arapoglo.
I really need to look at some of these names before sometimes.
Something like that.
And the detective Buckley, who's not really in it much, played by Perry Strong. All right, there we go. We got those names. All right, so for this one, just kind of general description of this movie. You have
Sosie Bacon.
Yeah, she's a therapist, right?
Yeah. She's a therapist with a therapist.
You have a therapist named Rose, and she works in like a hospital, and she just basically takes in all the mental people that are coming into the hospital wing or whatever. She is like the first person that, interviews them, sees what's going on, stuff like that. And then she gets this character named Lauren who comes in, and she's like a really smart person, and she's like freaking out, and she says something's chasing her, and it's smiling, and it like gives her all these bad feelings. And she had just like a week ago saw her professor like kill himself with a hammer, and it's like chasing her, and then Lauren's gonna die in front of her, and then but she's smiling before it happens, and then so it's kind of like now it's starting to happen to her.
She starts seeing people smiling at her, and she's like, "Wow, she's actually telling the truth."
Yeah, she sees a dude named Carl who's like freaking out, who says, "We're all gonna die. My mom's gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. Nothing matters." Blah 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 blah. He's not wrong. Everyone is going to die.
Right. So basically, it's just the story's gonna follow Rose. She's our main character, and she's gonna start seeing people smiling at her. And one of the detectives that came in to interview her after the suicide was like her ex-boyfriend, which you find out later.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell he had the hots for her up there. I hate some of the shots in this movie, the close-ups.
Why?
I just hate them.
Are they too close up?
It's just weird looking. Like when she's talking to Lauren, and it's just like one-on-one. I don't know. The close-ups just look weird.
Well, right away I can say there's not really a soundtrack in this movie. It's mostly
just suspenseful.
Yeah,
sounds.
really creepy sounds, and it really sets up an atmosphere from the get-go. And there's all these, I don't know if Sakura's going to agree with this one, but there's all these camera movements where like the camera's like turning upside down.
Yeah.
And I love it, actually.
I did not.
I figured you wouldn't like it.
This is stupid.
It's like turning it to make a smile, kind of. That's the point of it.
I understand what they were doing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
it's okay. You don't have to like it.
I also did not like the color scheme in this movie, the pastel colors. Everything looked like Easter, or the lights were off. That was it. Those are the two choices of this movie. Lights off, Easter colors. The hospital is like a weird pink and a weird blue, and then I just didn't like it.
All right, so basically you have Rose. Yeah, Rose.
Rose.
She's got a fiance at home who's A-Train, from The Boys. And, like, he is...
Not Billy Zane.
At first, like, he seems all cool or whatever. But when she starts breaking down, she's like... He's just totally just cuts her loose. Like, you're crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't even try and listen to her.
I'm not going to support you. She also has a sister who's also married, she has a nephew. And, like, she just pushes her away, too. Rose has, like, no support system whatsoever.
No.
Except for maybe Cal Penn, her boss.
Not really. He's just like, you can't be here.
Well, he also checked on her and wanted her to come in. Like, he's actually like the only person who was interested.
Yeah, but he was only on.
And then even the ex-boyfriend like wanted to check up on her, and then she pushed him away.
Yeah. She's making bad moves.
All right, so what do you guys think? Who had the creepiest smile in the movie?
The main girl.
Yeah, the main girl.
You thought the main girl?
Yeah, the girl from the beginning, Laura.
Laura, yeah.
Her or either the one girl that was at the nephew's birthday party that was sitting in the chair.
Yeah, she was pretty creepy too. I think Lauren just.
I thought that was perfect. Lauren.
No, it was one of the
moms. It looks like her though.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I was kind of half in and half out at that point watching this movie.
I mean, Carl's got a creepy smile too for a little bit, but he's
Carl's
not actually
just like an idiot.
He's not actually possessed by the creature at the time. He's got the creepy smile.
Right.
Carl is just like a character. He comes in the mental wing, I guess, over and over, and he just kind of keeps repeating the same stuff. Like, she's gonna die, I'm gonna die, everyone's gonna die.
Yeah. Like Score said.
Yeah.
I get it. He's fine. He's not crazy. He's just real.
No, he's got some mental issues, sir.
I mean, he thinks people are gonna die a lot sooner than they're about to, but like, at the end of the day, he's not wrong. The shit he's saying. He's not. Stop looking at me like that.
I just glanced over. I'm making eye contact with you.
Don't smile at me like that.
I'll smile how I want to smile.
All right.
So she being a doctor at first, she just thinks it's all in her head. You know, she's been working long hours, but then she starts seeing more and more people, and they're talking to her. She drops a glass of wine one night. And then, like, the next night, she drops another glass of wine.
Well, then her boyfriend freaks out.
Yeah. Well, I wrote down my notes. It's like, she keeps dropping glasses of wine.
I thought when she pulled that wine out of the fridge and poured a little bit into her glass, I thought she was just going to start chugging the bottle. I was like, get it, girl.
She barely put any in the glass. Yeah, I was like, keep pouring.
Yeah. Like, you're freaking out. Like, that's not going to do nothing.
I was expecting her to pour it, drink it, and then pour more in.
I was hoping for a bottle chug.
I could see either of those. But, yeah. Definitely a little bit more than what she poured.
Right. Just a sip.
Especially what she's going through.
Right.
She's not going to have just a sip.
Right. Exactly.
So Rose has now seen Laura kill herself in front of her, and then she's starting to see things, and then she's passing Carl's room, and Carl's just like sitting there. And this is when he's doing the stare thing we're just saying, and she thinks like it's, you know, he's possessed, which I'm not sure if he's supposed to be at this point or if he is just not.
Because he seems fine, like, because then the white coats run in.
Right. She, like, calls in security and they, like, tie him down. Or
he seems, like, fine after that.
Yeah, he seems normal, crazy Carl.
Right.
And then.
I think it was all in her head.
And then she goes into the boss's office and he puts her on, like, a week's leave, paid leave.
Yeah. Sounds
like
a sweet deal.
She doesn't want to, obviously.
Right.
But
dude, take a week off.
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah, paid. Like, this is actually for her mental health. Like, you just experienced something crazy, you know.
Right.
I guess
it'd be something normal anywhere.
Right. Maybe longer than a week.
Depending on what you saw or who was involved. Yeah. But, yeah.
I mean, just given her actions.
We'll see. And she also, before this happened, she got invited to her nephew's birthday party.
Yeah, well, she goes out to dinner with her bitch sister.
Yeah.
Her douchebag husband.
Yeah, they're just, like, horrible. And then they get mad at her when she, like, defends herself. Because, like, they sit down and they're just like, when are you going to leave that crappy job of helping people?
Right, yeah. Why are you such a piece of
like,
shit?
Money.
Yeah.
And there's just, like,
I just talking down to her the whole time.
And since this is, like, early in the horror movie, I was just like, I want these two to be killed in this movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't get that
sadly,
wish.
It didn't happen.
So after she is going home after being, you know, her boss talks to her, she stops at the train place to get a train because her nephew likes trains for the birthday party. Because now she can go.
I got some trains back there.
Oh, yeah. I saw them when you
first. I was going to bust them out, but I figured.
Yeah, you wanted the trains out?
Yeah.
Play choo-choo train?
Yeah. We could have built a whole village, a whole Christmas village.
Just make sure it's a train, though, and not anything else.
That's true.
So she's wrapping the present. Her fiance is running late. And then I think this is when she's really, like, starts going up the next level of seeing stuff.
Yeah, like, she starts, like... she starts like freaking out and like trying to put makeup on, and she's just like, she's doing a good job acting like a crazy person, like mentally unstable, because she's like in the mirror, like smiling at herself and like smearing makeup and shit, and she looks like she's going off the deep end.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll just go to my nephew's birthday party with this train.
She sees Laura, doesn't she?
I think the one you're talking about is like the second day.
Okay, second day. But this is the second glass of wine she's gonna drop this night.
Yeah, this is when the alarm goes off.
Oh yeah, the alarm goes off, and
that was my big thing when the alarm goes off. This was one of my complaints in the movie.
Yeah.
The alarm goes off, and she's home alone. The alarm goes off, and then A-Train comes home, and he's just like, "Why the fuck did you set the alarm?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What? What are you talking about, man? You're home alone. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? Why did you set the
alarm?
alarm?"
It was 2022. I lock all my doors.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why did you set the alarm? Like, what a crazy. Like he set the alarm the day prior.
Yeah. Everyone in her life is kind of
his
jackasses.
job to set the alarm. Is that?
Yeah.
No, so the alarm goes off. She drops her wine glass. She's really freaked out, and she plays it smart. She grabs a weapon, goes to the door, make sure it's locked.
Yep.
And then she turns around, turns off the thing, and then notices like the sliding doors open.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So she calls.
And then first she gets a call from the.
Oh yeah, she gets a call from security people saying the alarm went off.
You know, what's your name and the password and everything. And she's like, "Is anybody in the house?" And she's like, "No." And the person like, "Are you sure there's no one in the house?"
Yeah,
Rose?
I like that part.
This is one of my favorite
Very
moments.
creepy.
That part I did like in this movie. I was like, "Oh, shit's about to get good."
And then I think doesn't it like go right back into? Oh wait, it's like it says like it's behind you or something like that.
Yeah, turn around. I'm behind you.
And
or
then
something.
the alarm goes off again.
No, the
Like
phone rings.
the phone
again.
rings
The phone
again.
rings again.
And
Basically,
and it's the actual people.
yeah, it's
though.
the actual security people. But at this moment, it actually is my quote of the movie.
Oh, I did not do a quote of the movie.
I only have one quote for this movie, and this is it. So let me find it.
Here's the thing. Here's what I would say. If your alarm's going off and they ask you who you are and your passcode, don't say that shit because there could be someone in your house hearing your passcode.
That's true. I guess.
That's true.
I wouldn't say that shit. I'd be like, no, you can just come here. How about we start off there and I'll tell you my passcode later. Send the cops. Let's go. I have a baseball bat in my hand.
All right, so I got the sequence of quotes. It's
Sequence now.
well, it's all from that moment. It's, are you sure you're alone? Are you sure you didn't let anything in? That's what it was.
Oh.
Good one.
Look behind you. Like, it's just that, are you sure you didn't let anything in? Like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
There's not,
Oh.
there's lots of quiet time in this movie. Like, there's big chunks with no dialogue because you don't need it when it's just like just her and stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of like builds the tension more. So, like, I felt I didn't really need to write too many quotes down.
That's true.
Okay, so she calls the cops or whatever.
They actually call. Yeah.
The security people call. They come, and that's when A-Train comes and total asshole.
Yep.
And she's like starting to lose it at this point.
Yeah, like he shows up like, what
did you do?
Yeah, why are the cops here? Blah, blah, blah. This is crazy.
I think that this is also when they can't find the cat, right?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
She goes to feed the cat, which she only feeds this cat at night. Is that normal? I don't have a cat.
I don't have a cat.
Like,
But I would probably
I think
feed
so.
I thought
it. You only feed a cat once a day?
Well, would you only feed it at night? Wouldn't you feed it like
Okay,
in
well,
the
my
morning?
friends have cats and they don't do it at night, so maybe I think it's just their thing that they do.
My dogs have food in their bowls all day. They can eat. Well, they just ate, so let's not.
I just think it's a weird time to feed your cat at night.
Well, I mean, I just replenish the dog bowls, and they can eat whenever they want. It's their choice. They're free-range dogs.
Charlie eats more.
Yes, that is
So
obvious.
there's a size difference between these two dogs.
Yeah, he actually gained weight from the vet. I saw it at the vet today. Pretty proud of that boy.
All right, so the cat's missing. What's the cat's name?
Mustache.
Mustache. There you go. And then the next day, she's gonna go to her nephew's birthday party,
Yep.
and what she thinks is a train.
She buys a train.
Yeah, she bought the train already.
Mm-hmm.
What she thinks is a rap train ends up being the dead cat. So like she goes to the party, introduces the other moms or whatever.
Yeah.
I do not
And-
smell that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. First off, that box looks too small for that cat.
Yeah.
That kid, like, why are you touching it?
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
why
have
would you-
picked it up. I would have just like thrown the box or
Close, I would have just started crying
Yeah.
and closed the box and
He's
been
like
my birthday's
opening it
over.
all happy and excited, and then he's got this worried look and like, show us whatever, and then
What'd you get?
one hands it by the neck, and
It looked like he didn't even. I don't know. I think it was an effect or something. I don't think he actually like picked something up though.
I don't think
it just
so.
looked
This
weird.
movie
Yeah.
almost doesn't have that much CGI in it. They wanted to do almost everything real as
Practical.
possible. Practical, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even the smiles. The studio came in like, can we like make the smiles like more like bigger or whatever?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we want natural smiles to make it more creepy.
Oh.
So the only time I think they really used CGI was like when they had to for like lighting issues.
When they zoomed in on that dude's eye.
stuff like
The
stuff-
shot in the iris.
Yeah, stuff like that. So props for that. That definitely gets a thumbs up for me. All right, so she freaks out when it's the dead cat because obviously her cat's dead and she's freaking
And she
losing
killed it.
She killed it and wrapped it up in a present, and everyone's like,
And then it's even creepier because like, you know, everybody starts freaking out or whatever, and then she like looks to see what it was, and it was mustache, and then she's like holding it, like
Yeah. Cradling it like a
I get
baby.
it's like the last time you're gonna see her, like
Yeah.
last, you know,
Oh, yeah.
but I wouldn't just be holding my dead cat in front of everybody.
and then she turns around and there's like one of the moms is like sitting in the chair, smiling, very creepy at her. And also, the night before we forgot is she's like listening to the audio from the interview with Lauren or whatever.
This fucking
That's my favorite jump scare.
I hate it.
I mean, I hate that it's a jump scare, but out of all the jump scares, I think it's the best one.
Here's
This one where she's listening on her computer?
She keeps listening, and are we supposed to hear something? Because I don't hear anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
had
like
the
a little
captions
bit of
on.
a-
I had the captions on, and you can hear a whispering. It says Rose,
I didn't realize that's what
I
it said.
tried
And then
so
it-
hard.
and then it goes away. But
Yeah.
no, I thought it was funny how she like can't hear it, and then just turns the sound all the way up. And I was just like, that's not how that
no,
works.
That's not how it works.
And then
at all.
like she goes to max volume, and then like a scene later, you can hear her turn the volume up more. Just like, wait a minute, she already went to max volume.
right.
And then it goes Rose, and then nothing's there.
I couldn't hear anything at any point. I was waiting for it, and then she's focused on it. So we get the jump scare of like the
yeah,
creature like right next to her. So that's a big jump, or that's a big scare, and it's a jump scare. It's a cheap scare, as I call it. And the next day we get the better scare where it's the mom at the party sitting there,
Yeah.
smiling and creepy.
Watching that scene with the audio in theaters was so fucking scary.
Oh yeah, you saw this in theaters way back when.
Yeah, I saw this probably, I don't know, maybe opening weekend or like.
Did you
somewhere
rewatch
around-
it then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See,
Yeah.
like jump scares in theaters, they're good. Jump scares are good for the first viewing,
Yeah.
but those scares don't work after you watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it makes movies age very poorly.
Yeah, that makes
This
sense.
movie, it's not like drowning in jump scares, but it's the part that's weaker.
It's mostly jump scares in this movie, I feel like.
No, not really. Like there's
Well, that's like the only
some
scary
people.
parts,
Some people call
except for the
ju-
creepy smiles.
there's the creepy
And some of the
smiles.
death scenes with some characters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A jump scare to me, like the thing has to be like where the camera just like a new shot and there's something there. It's like rah. If like you open the door and there's somebody behind the door, that's not really a jump scare. It's like a build.
Yeah.
So there's only a few in here, but it really
Well,
this movie would have been much better if they.
I do like the scenes, and I like this in all movies, when there's something like in the corner and the camera pans by and
Yes.
you don't notice it at first. They have one of
Yes.
those scenes in here.
You either don't notice or you can kind of see it's like blurred.
Right.
And
I love,
so
I love those.
you know something's there, the character doesn't.
Right.
And then it like slowly comes into focus or it moves or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are like some of my favorite
Yeah.
scenes. I
That's
think
good
that's
shit.
isn't that when Lauren like she sees Lauren's
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the
Smiling.
first time she saw her
Yeah.
after
because it's
she
like
killed
complete
herself.
darkness.
Yeah.
That was the first time she dropped the wine glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can see. Yeah.
Yeah, when those are in movies, those are like my favorite things.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, those are awesome.
It's high quality
sure.
H2O.
H2O.
That's right. Bobby Boucher.
Totally different style of movie you're talking about right now. She also goes to see her old psychiatrist at some point.
Therapist.
This one's a psychiatrist.
It says therapist in her phone.
Well, I think she says psychiatrist, doesn't she?
Well, in her phone, it's Dr. whatever, therapist.
Whatever. I don't even care.
Dr. Madeline Northcutt. Therapist.
She basically just goes in there and wants medication, and
Yeah, she's
this
like, and
worthless
she's like,
doctor-
couldn't you write medication for yourself? You are also a doctor.
I don't think you can write your prescriptions for yourself.
Well, the cop in here can obviously do cop work off the clock at his own personal
on his own,
laptop.
yeah. Like Okay, you want to complain about that? We'll get to that.
Well, I'm just
that's-
saying, like,
That's not realistic at all. You
well,
just
I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't know if you can do that. Like, can you take work home with you like that?
I
Well,
think you can. I
You
think
can take work home with you, but you can't just share it with people.
Right, but this guy's all, well, he's trying to bag this lady. He's trying to fall in love with her
Like,
again.
I just accept that for this movie.
Yeah,
Right? Because
I mean,
you also can't just take straight, like, people into the prison to meet with other people who have not approved it and stuff.
Yeah, because the cop was like, "I'll only give you 10 minutes because you don't have a warrant of something."
You know how much trouble all of these people who let
Would
these
get
people
into?
It's not just like asking your one buddy, like, hey, let us in. No, there's multiple stages you got to go through.
and then the guy in prison, sorry, we're jumping ahead, way ahead, but this is fine. This is the guy in prison, Robert, or I think that's his name, right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. When did they announce that Joel was a cop when he came in with her? Because he's just like, get a cop out of here, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
He probably just knows.
But like, what?
Like, how did Robert know that he was a cop?
Yeah. And then just
Maybe he's seen him before, so maybe that's why.
maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess, but like at the same time, it's just like you're already in prison. This cop can't.
Yeah, what is he gonna do?
Right.
And like, I assume that you would. I mean, never mind. I was gonna say I would assume that you have told what you've seen to other people. You know.
Right. Like you're in prison. Like.
But I think it was just for him killing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dramatic effect. But they knew why he was in prison.
So after that, I think she goes back to the hospital, and it's basically her boss is worried about her, tells her type of stuff. And then after that, I think she finally confesses to her fiance, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
And his first instinct is like, let's not help at all. Let's just basically kick her to the curb.
gaslight you. Let's just gaslight you and just tell you that I hate you, basically, and not be a supporting fiance.
Right. So she has no support system. So she decides, okay, I got to investigate this because something's clearly going on. And she decides to go, the professor that killed himself in front of Lauren, she decides to go visit the widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The widow. And this professor was also an artist. So she's explaining like what happened and what he was describing and like all the pictures that he painted and drew. And it's all these like creepy smiling creatures and stuff like that.
And one of the pictures was one of his brother that he had died 20 years ago. So you already know that's kind of weird.
Yeah, lots of people also had like tragedy because we haven't talked about how Rose, there's like a backstory with Rose going on.
Yeah.
Where like her mom was going through some stuff and like died in this old house or something. She wasn't abusive or something like that, but she didn't take care of the kids. I don't even know.
It's a big expose on mental health, I feel like.
Yeah. But they never like fully explain what's going on with that. They kind of just leave it up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Use your imagination.
Like
kids.
her older sister had like bailed on her and just left her with the mom. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're not like as close as they should be.
Well, her older sister's a bitch, so she hates that her kid can speak Spanish for some reason.
Yeah. So she's talking to the widow, and the widow says like he had seen somebody like a week before he killed himself. He had seen somebody kill himself. So we're starting to get a little trail here. Like everyone that's doing it has
seen somebody kill himself.
Has seen someone else kill himself or whatever.
Like the Ring.
And then then she just freaks out and she's like, "Get out of my house!"
Well, because
like,
she asks, she's like, "Can you tell me who that person was that killed themselves?" And she's like, "Why do you want to know? Who are you actually?" And then she starts flipping out, and
it was like a complete 180.
Yeah.
Like
This movie's full of complete 180s out of nowhere. Just like, wait a minute, you're trying to get intel on the questions you're asking me? Like, this is bullshit. You're crazy. I'm out of here.
So with this new information, she goes back to Joel, the detective, her ex. I think is this what she starts talking to him about, like the people killing themselves?
probably, yeah, I think so.
All right.
Well, I think I know the scene after this is when she goes back to the house. Psychiatrist / therapist.
Yeah. She goes home.
The doctor.
And then her psychiatrist or whatever therapist is like sitting there with the fiance, and it's like an ambush. Like, we want to fix you, and she's just like, no, like I was
Intervention.
Basically intervention for her, but she's just like, I was telling you these things, not her. Like, help me, and then it's just no. Then she just walks out. I'm pretty sure.
I just like the one quote that Rose has there. I don't know if I'm saying it in exact words, but she's like, "What are you doing here?" Or "What is she doing here?" Talking to her fiance. And then the therapist replies with like, your fiance called me because you're going through stuff. And then she's like, "No, I was talking to my fiance. Thank you very much."
Yeah.
Just
Well,
like
thank you.
cuts her off.
Yeah, it's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
All right, after that, after she has to leave the house because of that stuff, she goes to tell her sister what's going on, and her sister is still mad about her son's birthday, which obviously you would be
Yeah,
mad.
you would be.
Yeah, that's like I'm never gonna talk to you again.
But like the brother-in-law answers the door, and he's just like, you shouldn't talk to her, blah, 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 blah. But she's like, I'll talk to her. And she basically is blaming her, like, you're turning into mom. I'm not going to help you. I'm sorry I bailed on you and left you with mom, but it's not my fault. You
Right.
know?
I'm
Just-
taking zero responsibility for
taking
all of
zero
this.
responsibility. I don't want you to bring me down with you or anything like that, and just basically bails. And this is another one of those type of shots that you're kind of liking, because she goes in her car and she's like crying or something like that, and then you see like the sister come out the door and like walk up right to the car, knock on the window, but you don't see her head, and then her head like swings down. It's very weird, but it's very effective. I actually like that shot a lot.
That was cool. I enjoyed that one too.
And when this is going on,
I knew something was about to pop off. Like,
yeah, you knew that wasn't really the sister, but
Right.
they did it in such a good way. Like,
The only reason I saw that coming is because they put that in the trailer, which I don't like that they put certain stuff in trailers because you kind of want it surprising during the movie.
studios don't learn.
they put
So
a
I-
lot of things.
I knew that was coming, so I
Yeah.
expected that. But
I started to not watch trailers anymore because they put too many
much
things
stuff
in it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, her nephew is looking out the window and seeing her freak out in the car. And by the way, I was working today, and there was not too many people in the building, and there was a little boy walking around the building that looked exactly like this kid from this movie. So I was like, okay, it's a sign.
Did he smile at you?
No, I only saw him from a distance.
Okay,
So
thank God.
Tyler, you're next. I'm picking you. So then, yeah, so she had already talked to the detective about like the suicide type of thing and like looking at like, okay, what happened to this person, and then looking it back. So the detective calls her and says like, I've linked it to 20 people in a row now,
Yeah.
Right.
and 19.
Well, first, don't they go over evidence in his apartment?
yeah, we
Yeah,
kind of
we didn't really go through.
we
all
mentioned
that.
it, and then we couldn't figure out
Yeah.
what exactly. So that's when she was telling him like that the person killed himself, and then they saw them kill himself. You know,
Yeah. And he's like, check out this gross video.
yeah,
And it shows a guy just like stab himself with a pair of like
hedge clippers.
yeah,
or
hedge
something.
clippers. Yeah.
Yeah.
At a gas station. And he
And then
smiles
he
at the
smiles,
camera.
yeah, before when
He's
he
like,
picks
oh
up
my
the.
God, did he smile? She's like, yeah, are you not getting it at this point, guy? Like, come on, you're a detective. You're bad at your job.
So he's linked it to 20. 19 have died by suicide, and there's one survivor
Dun, dun, dun.
who killed somebody, and then is now in prison. But then like that person committed suicide. I don't know. It was a little confusing on that, but
He killed someone in
yeah.
front of somebody.
Yeah. And then it just continued on from that person that
Okay,
saw the
yeah.
person die.
It's a chain.
so then she's basically like, you gotta, and it's about 4 days to a week that people live.
The max that somebody has lived was like a week.
7
Yeah.
days.
But it's usually 4 days. She's like, I'm already on my 4th day.
Yeah.
So then she's basically trying to convince, like, you got to get me in to see this person, which what we were talking about earlier. You can't just do that.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Especially at like nighttime. It was nighttime. Like, you can't just go visit people. So
yeah.
they go in the cell to see the survivor guy or whatever. He's like, get the cop out of here.
Yeah.
Well, because she starts asking him questions or whatever, and then she had mentioned something about the killing. She was like, "I want to know what you saw," and then he like looks kind of like crazy. He goes, "I will only tell you if the cop gets out of here."
Right.
And then
Yeah. So
he leaves.
He leaves, and then he says a story about like he was doing all this research or something like that, and he saw like other chains, and the person had like killed somebody.
Yeah, and it broke the chain, but it passed on to somebody
Yeah,
else.
so
and
he-
blah, 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 blah.
He went to, was it his neighbor's house or something like that? I think it was
Don't
neighbor's house.
remember.
Let's just say it was a neighbor's house, and he killed one of them in front of the other person, and that person then continued the chain. So he goes to prison, but he's alive, and then he finds out like,
It's because Rose keeps talking in like third person, but she
Yeah.
was like,
my friend.
"I have a student, that's going through all this or whatever," and he was explaining that it continued and stuff like that, and then she screams, "Oh, I don't want to die!" And then he starts flipping out, realizing that
Get out of here!
yeah,
Like, you're not giving it back to me.
yeah,
And he's like just totally insane.
Yep.
So, that's why you don't just let random people in the prison to see other people.
yeah.
But also, is your life that great in prison? Like, come on, man. Just take one for the team.
If you killed yourself in front of no one, wouldn't that break the chain?
I would feel like it would.
Yeah, but there's some way that someone's gonna see
All right,
it.
but
Someone saw it through a window.
I'll talk about that later on in one of the stuff that I have problems with.
Okay.
Because it has to do with like interviews with the people behind the scene.
Yeah.
All right, so then I think she goes back home, and psychiatrist comes.
I think it's the next day because I feel like she's in the morning doing something.
She's at home, and the psychiatrist
Oh,
comes.
because she's going through all the pictures and photos
Yeah,
at the table.
And she's just like, I just wanted to come make sure you're okay, and I'm sorry that we ambushed you and this and that. And then she gets a call in the middle of this, and it's the therapist. So the therapist in front of her is the creature or demon or whatever, and she starts like smiling, and it's like, that's pretty creepy. And this time it actually kind of chases her a little bit instead of just going away or like
It
being
starts like slowly
boo.
walking towards her, stomping over the couch and everything.
And it also like chokes her too, and like it's almost time or something like that.
But like with a weird like demon sound.
Yeah, and she has like
drool coming out. I didn't need the drool. I felt like that didn't really feel like it, but the rest of the stuff was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was so well done. Just when you get that call, you just know right away. You're like, oh, awesome. So then Rose goes to the hospital, and she's like, I think she's ready to kill somebody.
Yep.
Because she's like, I need this to pass to somebody else. So she goes to the hospital, and she wants to kill Carl. She's like, I think she's like, no one's here for him or whatever. So she's all ready to kill him. She gets like...
She gets some type of knife and stuffs it in her sleeve.
Butcher's knife.
Yeah, she brings a butcher knife, and she's about to kill him, and then Cal Penn comes in and's like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And then she just takes the knife out and just starts stabbing Carl.
And in the middle of it, Carl's like laughing.
He starts laughing or whatever.
Coming out of his mouth and everything.
And this is the point when you realize, like, okay, this is not really happening. And then Cal Penn, like, rips his face off. And then she, like, wakes back up, and she's in the car with the knife there. And Cal Penn's, like, at the window, like, okay, come inside. We need to talk.
Yeah.
We need to help you or whatever. And then she drives off.
She drives off because then, like, she's in the middle of, like, yelling at each other and gets, like, a quick flash of Carl, like, as if she was just stabbing him, where the guy was standing at, and then she just drives off.
Yeah, and then this is the time when she also gets the idea in her head, I think, that, like, wait, if I'm by myself, no one can see it happen to me, so it will stop. And so she's like, the house, they fought about it earlier in the movie, and it comes back, is the sisters inherited the mom's house.
Decrepit house.
Yeah, and the brother-in-law wants to sell the land. The house, you have to tear down and stuff like that. So that's the house she's going to go to, where no one else is going to be. And then we get a flashback of when she was a kid, and the mom is in the room asking for help, and she kind of just, like, backs out, like, not going to help her.
Well, she's a child.
Yeah, she's a child. And we still know, like, she's obviously dealing with some sort of mental illness.
Probably some drugs mixed in.
Yeah,
There was, like, cigarettes and alcohol, I feel like.
The room's just messy. It could be a combination of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a combo of a lot of things. They didn't really
go into enough detail.
Yeah, they didn't really.
It's a chunk of information that's kind of missing.
Yeah, they showed a dirty room with, like, an ashtray and some cigarettes, I think, and, like,
pills and everything.
Yeah, here's a mom laying on the bed and a little girl.
Yeah, so she gets in the house, starts closing all the blinds. There's no power in the house, obviously, so she's locked all the doors, lights a lantern, and she's just gonna, like, sit in a room.
At least this house had comfortable chairs, it looked like.
Yeah.
Did it? I didn't even notice. I wasn't looking at the chairs.
I was, ever since that first scene.
Do you do this for every movie?
No, just this movie, because right off the bat, I was just like, this just looks so uncomfortable.
But so she's sitting there in the darkness, and then she just starts walking around. Just stay still. You hear things, you don't follow them in this creepy house. You know something's going to happen.
You already know you're going through stuff. There's no need to put more pressure on you.
So where's she going? She's hearing crying from her mom's room. So where are we going to go?
Right
to
into
the mom's room.
Outside.
And who's sitting on the couch, or who's sitting on the bed crying?
Her mom.
Her mom.
Her dead mom.
Yeah, her dead mom.
Dead mom who's now alive. That's when you just close the door and go, all right, I'm out of here.
The mom's like, why didn't you call for help? So we're getting the whole thing. She's having a whole conversation, but I think at this point she'd be smart enough to be like, realize that her mom's not really there. So I don't know why she's having. It's like she comes to that term like 2 minutes later, but like I don't think.
I think it's just the fact that she's trying to it's all like all in her head, but she's trying to just find the closure between.
Yeah. So she's getting the strength to close it out because she's like, because I was afraid of you and you were a monster. So like once again, I wish I knew why she was a monster. If it was mental issues, that's not really her fault. But if it was drugs or alcohol, then I guess it is.
I'm pretty sure it was that.
And then like the mom's like, your mind makes it real. And the mom starts smiling. So we got the creature effect. She shuts the door on her.
She
whatever.
like closes the door really slowly as like the lights start to dim out, and it gets real dark around her character.
Yeah, and then the door like isn't fully
Gets
shut.
caught
Yeah,
by the creature.
Caught by the creature, and the door opens. The creature is now like become really long, and it's pretty creepy. And it's just like it's like elongated like female version of the mom.
Yeah,
but it's like more demonic. So we're finally getting like a real creature, and not just people smiling. And then it's like following her down the creepy hall. And it's like, and then they have like a little fight, and the creature's like choking her, and she like easily breaks her arm.
Yeah, and snaps her arm, no problem.
Yeah, because the creature's like, it's all in your mind, or you can't escape your mind.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you can't either. Why? I don't know. You don't know that.
Yeah.
What has given to prove that it's only in your mind? Because this seems to be a very real creature of some kind.
Yeah.
And then she like sets her on fire.
Hell yeah, she smashes that lantern.
And kills her, and the house burns down too, so it's closing out two things. Demon's dead.
And the house is
the horrible memories of the mom have now burned away, and she thinks she's won.
Thinks.
Yeah, we all know she hasn't. I didn't fall for that.
Yeah, there's still like 30 minutes left in the movie at this point.
Well, if not even looking at time, I just
in the theaters when I was watching this, there's part of me that felt like this is definitely not over, but
excuse me,
bless you. But this would be like a semi good ending for it,
right? But no, I like the other ending better.
Yeah,
I like unhappy endings.
I'll get to it when we talk about it.
So then she goes back. She drives to the detective's house and apologizes for her part and asks if she can just like sleep there. And his reply, I will stay with you forever. And then he starts to smile and laugh. And this is when you realize, well, I realized before, but
yeah,
when our character realizes, oh no, it's not over with. And then he starts chasing her, and she like runs to the door, and she's in the woods outside the cabin again. So she's like right back where she was. And this time, Joel, the real detective, is actually driving up. So she decides to run back in the house and lock the door to try to save him. So now she's right back in the house with the demon, and they have their like little fight, and it's getting really, she's really creepy at this point. We're getting more like facial stuff of the demon.
Yeah. And then like Rose starts to like freak out or whatever, and then you just get a close up of her face, and she's like screaming, and then all of a sudden she just has her mouth open and it's just quiet.
Yeah, and then the demon then rips like its skin off, and it's got like these like I don't know 7 jaws and like teeth lines. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And then like just kind of stretches Rose's mouth open and like slides inside. So like now Rose is possessed. We've officially lost Rose.
Yep.
So then Joel kicks down the door. Takes him forever. I mean, he's a detective and like pretty good shape. And this is an old house.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an old house, so I feel like you could kick that down within.
Sikora brought this up earlier before we started the podcast. He should have easily been able to kick that door down.
Yeah, there's tarps on the windows. Like if you can't get into the door, just like pull off that fabric.
So he gets in there. He's looking for Rose, and then Rose is like just pouring gasoline or some sort of fuel all over her, and then turns around with her creepy smile, and then has matches or whatever. As a detective, he lets 1 or 2 minutes go by and doesn't even try to stop any of this from happening.
Yeah.
And just literally watches her pour fuel on herself and then light a match, killing herself. And he does nothing to stop it.
No, he's a bad cat.
And that end of movie. Well, it zooms in on his eyes, showing, yes, he's now the next possessed person. And then end of movie.
Lollipop, lollipop.
Yeah.
So, overall, do you like it, Tyler?
I like this movie, yes.
Sikora, do you like it overall? You don't have to go in detail yet, just overall.
It was all right.
It was right?
It just reminded me of The Ring, but like a worse version.
I will say it's probably above average for horror movies right now. Like you said, it's kind of like The Ring and It Follows, like a combination of the two.
Yeah, I definitely thought of It Follows when I was watching this for sure.
I liked it more than the last movie I saw. Last horror movie I saw. That stupid movie.
Barbarian.
That and the movie before that. Stupid movie with like the parasitic twin in the girl's head.
Oh, I didn't see that one, so I can't remember what it's
It's
called.
not-
So overall, this movie, some of the pros I have, we'll talk about pros, I guess.
Yeah.
The sound effects are amazing. I love the way it's shot, especially for like a low budget movie. They had really good camera movements in it that are like kind of way above the pay grade for these type of movies. The acting is fine for a horror
Sosie
movie.
Bacon kills it. Everybody else sucks.
No, not everyone else sucks. Everyone else is fine in the movie. Cal Penn's in it. Come on.
He's good.
A Train. I feel like A Train's basically playing A Train.
A Train. I didn't like.
I didn't like his acting as much as everybody else. But
No,
I
Sosie
didn't like the
Bacon
character,
was
so.
Sosie Bacon was leagues above everybody else.
I think-
She's a 10.
I don't think
and her
anyone-
acting was a 10.
Favorite
and
actress.
everybody
now.
else was like a minus 9,000.
I think everyone else was fine. I don't think anyone was bad in this movie, but
They weren't as good as her. I thought she did a great job.
yeah, she's
I
a
love
really
her.
good job. I've never seen her anything before.
do you love her?
so-
I don't think I'm convinced yet.
I love her. She was great in this movie. She held this movie together. She's great.
So other things that are good, like just had a good creepy vibe. There's lots of the creepy smiling and like lots of those shots that we talked about where it's like stuff is happening behind. Really,
It's
really
not
good.
the like main focal point.
Yeah. There's some originality in it. Lots of it kind of just goes back to old horror movie stuff, but there's enough originality in it that makes it good. Any positives from you guys besides what I
Sosie
talked
Bacon.
about?
I don't know. I like it. I don't know. Nothing really points. I mean, I like some of the jump scares, but like you said, now that I've seen them, I expect them, so it doesn't seem natural when I watch it again. But
I think it did a good job of building up suspense. So, and it did like in a more natural way. So I like that. And even though overall I like this movie, I have more cons than I do pros somehow.
Uh-oh.
But that doesn't mean it's actually like a bad movie. So some of the cons, it's a little generic.
Yeah.
Like they use, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Making movies is hard, especially horror. There's so many horror movies that it's hard to be original.
Especially on a limited budget.
But everything,
Especially going off an 11-minute short, too.
yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Story wise, like I could predict everything that was happening. I knew how
Right.
it was going to end. I knew everyone was going to, I just very
You just
predictable.
wish that the sister and the brother-in-law died.
But it's okay. When you have a movie
A-Train
like
could
this,
have also got killed.
well, yeah, all the horrible people live. When it comes to a movie like this, even if I predict it, if it's done well, then it's fine. So it was done well enough, but it's very predictable and very generic in many ways. A couple cheap jump scares in it holds this back. If this movie took out those jump scares and just relied more on the strengths that they have in here, like the stuff happening behind the scenes, like that comes out slowly, or
Mhm.
just like the smiling, or just like people being really weird, this movie would probably go up a notch.
If they had more scenes of that, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They
Yeah.
like I feel like everything that was shown in the trailer was all the best parts of this movie.
I didn't watch the trailer again.
Well, all
so,
like the scary parts at least.
yeah. So I
And
just
then it
think
was just like 2 hours and 50 minutes of just like, or no, an hour and 50 minutes of
Yeah,
just
hour
like
55, yeah. So hour 50.
so. If we get a sequel for this movie, which I think we probably will, because of the amount of money it made,
But Sosie Bacon's
Stay-
not gonna be in it.
let's stay away from the jump scares.
She could potentially be like,
Ooh, bring her back.
in like, the dark.
The dark
Areas.
arts, yeah. Parker Finn, bring her back. You know what to do, buddy.
Well, speaking of Parker Finn, he doesn't know, and that's another con. I
Oh,
talked about this earlier.
they'll bring her
and
back, and you might know, bro.
So, like, I went to school for screenwriting and stuff like that. I talked to my buddy Wes about scripts and stuff we want to work on.
Spoiling.
We throw Wes. Either way, we keep working on movie ideas and stuff like that. And the way we talk about stuff is when we make a story, even if it's not going to show up in the movie, we have to have the answers of why. So we can make sense of it in the movie. When he was being interviewed and stuff like that, they talk about, like, someone asked them, like, did they know how it stops? Like, how do you stop it? And he's like, I don't know if they really like. He doesn't have the answers, so he's already made this movie. For me, you have to know those type of answers.
He doesn't even have the backstory of why it started to begin with either.
So here, this is part of my problem is we need a little, like, we don't need everything spoon-fed to us.
I do.
But I would like a little bit. Like, maybe they found a story of some sort of demon.
If there is a potential sequel, I feel like they might do
Right, maybe
something
it'll be a
with that.
prequel sequel.
I just want a little
Give me
bit
some
more.
mashed potatoes, bro.
The
Hook me
movie
up.
starts out of nowhere, just random characters. There's no research really done except for finding the detectives. Like I would like a little bit more information, and he doesn't have the answers when he made it. So you need to know some of those answers before. So now if you make a sequel, it might not line up properly.
Right, so you got to do a prequel.
I'm just saying.
What was that? Nobody could see. He just did a hand gesture, like a Nike swoosh.
Well, they can't
like
see it. What's on the TV. We just saw the head swing scene.
Oh, okay.
So
The
that's
TV's
what
behind me,
this-
so I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
I
but
also
now,
wasn't
but
looking
now,
at the TV.
But now it makes sense. Yeah.
Hey,
Because
but-
I'm just looking at you, you just go.
Hey, but now rewatching this scene, it looks like the little traumatized boy saw that shit too.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah, no, but like, did he see his mom's head swing like to the little baby boy?
Well,
No,
she wasn't there.
She wasn't
Right.
there, so she only
So
sees.
is he just reacting to like his aunt freaking out?
Because
Yeah.
He looks a little too.
Yeah, because they show like the next scene right after that. She's like, freaking out, and then she's screaming, hitting on the steering wheel, and that's what the kid sees after being traumatized by getting
That's true.
a killed mustache.
All right. Do you guys have any other cons?
I don't like the pastel and the uncomfortable furniture at all.
You're not sitting on the furniture.
I don't care. It looks uncomfortable.
Is that actually affecting your grade for this movie?
It just,
The answer is yes, Mike.
yeah. Well,
There was a chair in the background, and it was turquoise. I hate turquoise chairs. Drops half a point.
Listen, no. It just looked uncomfortable, and I didn't like the colors. Like, it just looked not good to me. Like, even like the chairs the therapists were sitting in looked uncomfortable, and then the chair to the side looked like just it was plastic. Just like that looks hard as fuck.
I agree, but I usually don't focus on the furniture.
I did because I was just like, because I was thinking if I was sitting in that, I would not be I'd be freaking out too. Especially if you're in a mental institution, you should be comfortable and relaxed, not on some hard ass furniture.
That is true.
Because then they'll go crazy on
Right,
that.
exactly. Like I can't get comfortable. How do you expect me to talk to you when I can't even get comfortable in my own seat?
All right, we ready to give our ratings?
Yep, think so.
Okay, as always, a 5 is a truly classic. 4 is pretty darn good. 3 is middle of the road. 2 is should be better. 1 is it's bad, and 0 is nothing redeemable. Sakura, what grade are
I'm
you
not
giving this
leading off.
movie?
Don't
Oh,
lead
yes,
me
you
off.
are. Yes, you are. I want to hear what you're going to say so bad.
Ooh, well, this was basically The Ring Junior, but Sosie Bacon has won me over. So I will give it a 3.
3. Oh, that's more than I thought you were going to give it. I'm giving this a 3.5. I feel like if you replace those jump scares with some...
There could have been a lot more that they could have done with this movie to make it better.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst movie I've seen.
No, it's pretty solid for the horror movies nowadays. So I think it's 3.5 is appropriate. If it had those better, if the jump scares were taken away and put the better scares in, you're looking at a 4 from me. But we're going 3.5. Tyler?
So throughout this whole day after I rewatched this movie, I've had so many different scores. First, I said 4, or I think I said 4.5. And then coming here, I was like, no, I think it's a 4. I don't think it's that much. And then talking about all the cons of this movie makes me actually, look at it and be like, wow, okay, I actually didn't realize that at first. So now it's a 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
All right, so this movie got a 10, so average it out to 3.3. So, I mean, a little higher than the middle of the road. So, it's not too bad. I would watch this movie again. I would definitely watch this movie over Halloween Ends again, which is, of course, still our only movie on the Wall of Shame.
Yep.
Any movie with a 1.5 or lower is a Wall of Shame. Anything with a 4 or higher is Wall of Fame, which we have American Beauty and Conjuring.
Yep.
So one horror movie on there. That's an amazing movie. Sakura has kind of just bailed on us without a warning. All right, so as always.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, we were like 2 minutes away.
Listen, I've had to pee for like 45 minutes.
Okay, well, before we say that, Tyler, where can they hit us at again?
Well, that's already been said.
We repeat this.
Yeah, we usually repeat it. Plus, we haven't done it in the last couple episodes. So you can check us up on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Last in Class Podcast.
Yes, sir. As always, I'm Mike.
Sakura.
Tyler.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm not ready. Here I am.
Yeah, play that music for us. Another original by Sakura. We might not have too many more of these.
Or we might. I don't know.
Well, you're going to make that one main one for us, right?
That's right.
As for our other channels, too. Stay tuned. See what's going to happen.
Saucy Bacon.